All right, welcome in. It is the Three Guys Talking Ball podcast. It is episode 79. Who do you guys have for a 79 for NFL? Because I don't even know if there's any other people here. Anything, Grant? You got one?
I had one earlier this week, and I forgot about it. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Kind of an oddball number. I'm trying to. Iowa had a terrible right tackle with the number 79. I can't remember who he was, but he was.
Was that Plum?
Yeah, it was Plum. Yeah, God, he sucked.
Yeah, Plum. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was terrible. He was part of the misses of the 2019 and 2020 classes they had, unfortunately.
You know, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with is it Jack?
Yeah, Jack Plum. Jack Plum.
Jack Plum. Let's go.
Yeah, he was awful.
Yep.
We've got Roosevelt Brown here. This is Bob St. Clair.
Nah.
Forrest Gregg. Hey, wait, is Sidney Crosby 79?
No.
No, he's 87.
He's 87.
Gretzky was 99.
Gretzky was 99.
Yeah.
Not 79. Not a memorable number.
What?
Not a memorable number.
No. If you want to be great, be 79.
No. You know what also isn't memorable? Our picks for the conference finals predictions. They're not looking.
Hey, can I say something on this, guys? As you know, last year, 2022, I think I told this to Dylan for sure. I'm pretty sure. I said after the All-Star break, I said Miami was going to the NBA Finals. I was the leader of the Miami Heat Stan account in Minnesota last year, and I stuck by it. And they ended up losing at home to Boston in Game 7. And last week, as I was ready to give my picks, I had them on the tip of my tongue, saying they're going to pull off the upset because of everything, the Heat culture, Jimmy Butler, Spoelstra, those guys. I was about to say it, and I sold out for the 97% favorites according to the ESPN basketball metrics.
You're such a coward.
And I'm so upset with myself. Like, I didn't sell out this year when I said Matt Rule was going to be fired in November. He was fired in September.
You know how selfish you are to not pick them because we could have looked really good, but now you make us look.
I know. I'm so pissed at myself because I had the opportunity to pick the 8 seed when I was on them last year, and I sold out for the easy safe pick, and it's frustrating.
You really need to look yourself in the mirror.
I don't know. I don't think Alec wants to buy a new mirror though.
Well, I've already broken all the mirrors in this house. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
You know how many years of bad luck you have now? You're so fucked.
I've had 29 of them, so it's okay.
You have at least a couple more years coming.
I've had 29 already, so it's nowhere to go but up, and I've been saying that for a long time.
But we did get game 1 correct. We did say the Heat were going to come out and pull off the upset.
Yeah, we came out hot.
Well, and then they've railed off 2 more.
We just missed those ones. That's fine.
That's a
small.
Yeah,
miss.
That's okay. Hey, we're playing. It's baseball season. We're 1 for 3. We're going to the Hall of Fame. We're in the All-Star game.
It's true.
Life is good.
There it is.
We're the mirror of positivity. Let's not forget that. I know we're talking about the history of heartbreak these last couple weeks, but you know what? Let's not forget the origins. The mirror of positivity. We got game 1 right. Game 2 and 3 did not go our way, but that's okay because it's the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
We might be able to get game 4.
They had us in the first half.
Right
I'm not gonna lie.
This is a good time to remind everyone. This podcast is all about reverse psychology.
Oh my God! Yes,
it's true.
That's so well.
It really is, and well, maybe we get game 4 right tonight because I did say it was going to be 2-2, but that's not a possibility here.
No, screw it. Celtics win in 7. I am changing my pick.
They're going to pull the Red Sox.
It wouldn't be the first time a Boston team's come back from 3-0 down. So
are we going to get like a 6 overtime game then on game 4, like a marathon game tomorrow night then?
At least 4.
That's right, because that game went. What did that game 4 go? That went like 15 innings or something.
And it technically ended the next day. Like it was at was it 12-13 or something like that, or 1-13?
Yeah, they played essentially the same day.
The same day, yeah.
Yeah, and I want to say it was like a day game too, or afternoonish game. No, it wouldn't have been because it was this ALCS.
Tatum's going to hit a nice 4-point play to give him some cushion, just like Johnny Damon hit the grand slam.
I see what you did there.
That's right.
So is Strus gonna then land in his landing zone, and that'll be the 4-point foul?
Could be.
If this happens, we're buying a lottery ticket, boys, on either Wednesday or Saturday.
I'm gonna go bet on the ponies this week. I swear to God.
Life is good. You see, this feels good. The mirror of positivity. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
It does. And I think we have to just continue that trend because Ethan texted us and said he has a rant to go on. So I guess, Ethan, go ahead.
I'm here for it.
Let's hear this.
The floor is yours.
This just pissed me off. So that's what we were like. We all know during COVID, like it's over, like it's done. It's not even a pandemic anymore. It's done. And we all wore masks for a while, but you
guys did.
As soon as the science figured it out, as soon as we caught up to the science, we realized we were fucking idiots and we shouldn't wear masks. So here I am running tonight. Just getting nice interval running, and all of a sudden I look in the pool. The pool's open.
Oh no!
This person is wearing a mask in the pool. Do you realize you are in water with about 15 other people, but that mask is going to save you from getting sick?
Oh.
I almost knocked on the window and been like, you look so stupid. Like, and it wasn't covering her nose. It was just covering her mouth.
They were wearing it half anyway?
Yeah, he's one of them.
Oh, my God.
It's just a disaster of a human.
Oh, so speaking of that, catch this. I was getting groceries last week, guys, and the only person in the grocery store who had a mask on, they had their N95 on. But you know what? It was. Catch this.
They're serious.
No, catch this. It was placed at their chin. Both their mouth and their nose was exposed. It wasn't stopping anything.
It's their chin diapers.
It was the fact there's still people that wear it when driving still.
By themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing, too, is when I came back from Arizona today, I think this was the first ever flight I was on where there wasn't a single person wearing a mask at all.
No kidding.
There wasn't one I spotted. It was cool. It was like, oh, this is awesome.
We still have a kid that wears a mask at work, and I swear to God, it's the first one we got when they gave us them at start of COVID. This thing is like as crazy as it is. Like, it is disgusting.
That's 3+.
Yuck.
Oh, that's 3+ years old. Throw it away, man.
Oh, it's so gross.
Oh,
it's so gross.
That sounds terrible.
Does this person shower?
That's like the other thing too, though, is like with all the people that are wearing their masks, they never actually throw them away. They just wear the same gross one. It's like, do you have any idea how much bacteria and how gross those things are?
Yeah.
There's a reason why doctors, when they wear them when they're performing surgery, where if they take it off, they switch it every time.
Truly incredible.
But you know what? You can't fix stupid.
And guys, that just reminds me, the other day I also saw a throwback on Facebook. It said, how wild were times in 2020? The stuff people were using as masks or face coverings was just absolutely ludicrous.
Absolutely.
I mean, I about lost it when I saw some guy wearing a jockstrap over his face.
I saw a Darth Vader mask.
I did that one. Those were pretty cool.
Which ones?
Yeah, a Darth Vader mask. I saw someone wearing.
You see, that's funny. That's funny. But some of these, what
is it gonna do?
Well, you just you got. But then my favorite one is I saw some guy. He wants dead ass. He had his hood up, and a lid for a pan that you cook on the stove, and he tied his hood tight. And you just saw the lid with the hood around his face.
No.
And anytime he was breathing, it looked like Andy Reid in the rain when they played Houston. It was fogging up. He couldn't see.
Jesus. That's just terrible.
Oh, it's disgusting. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was my rant.
In the pool with 15 other people. Just, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely the worst type of person. But whatever. If they want to look stupid, they can. So
can't fix
stupid. You can't. And I don't know how much we want to talk about the the conference finals series because these are pretty much over.
Yeah,
and
championship.
I think so. And we're recording this Thursday, so we might.
You mean Monday?
Championship matchups might be set by then. Recording this Monday, release Thursday. By the time it is Thursday, we could have our championship matchups, and we'll be having to wait like a week.
And Dylan, we'll give you some credit or a pass on that one because it sounds like you just had a bender in Arizona this weekend, so your brain is still not there.
It's a rare occurrence that it is.
I was gonna say,
yeah, today was
too much credit here.
I was thinking about that after I said that. I was like, yeah, I heard that. It didn't sound smart. Sometimes like Dylan, but this time it really doesn't.
Most of the time,
this time it really didn't help.
No, but exciting news is I bought a lawnmower too, so I have that going.
Oh wow!
Jesus.
Is it a push?
It is.
What brand? Toro?
It is. No, it's Husqvarna.
The orange one.
My buddy was selling it. Yeah, it is.
The orange. Hold on, guys. Are we getting to the point where, in life, we're excited when we buy a fucking lawnmower? We get.
I hope
we get socks for Christmas, and we're excited, and I'm going to buy Ethan a tie this year, and he's going to lose his mind. Have we reached that?
Yes.
Have we reached that point?
I've got a tie in a couple years.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that too loud. Someone might steal my idea. Hannah.
She's drawing on some board. It's fine.
Oh, good, because we all know the apex predator in that apartment is not Ethan. So she's listening to she's listening to.
Well, it depends. If you're black, it's Boone.
She's just taking notes down.
She's listening to everything I'm saying.
Boone is the true apex predator if you're black.
That dog is racist, so there's that.
As soon as I said that, his eyes perked up. So you tell me.
God, I just hope you're not a black UPS driver.
You're dead.
Jeez.
No, but seriously, have we gotten to that point in life where like little stuff like that gets us excited? Like, what if I buy Dylan some Pyrex Tupperware, some glassware with some lids?
I mean, Hannah asked me to help one of the nanny families she works for mow their lawn last week, and my God, I could have ran there faster. Like I was so pumped.
So I need to buy you.
You do have a 10K coming up, so it's good practice.
Yeah. It's 2 months. It's still 2 months away.
Do I need to buy you the white New Balances, Ethan?
I'm good.
The Air Monarchs.
Air Monarchs, baby.
Eventually, yes. I will need those here, hopefully pretty soon.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay. All right now.
So give it a year. Give it a couple years, and then we'll see.
God. Well.
Oh, okay.
Well, not like anytime soon.
I don't want to say we're getting old, but we're maturing, guys. We're maturing.
Boy, is that
God is.
I don't know. I was just in Arizona. I think we've gotten. My friend group has gotten more immature, and so like last weekend I was in Fargo for my sister's graduation, and she asked me, "Do you think my friends could outdrink your friends?"
Oh God!
No,
oh, God.
No. This weekend sealed it. No, you wouldn't last an hour with us.
We got to take them to Iowa City for the real test.
That is a test.
Well, it's dangerous because you start at 9 p.m. at Brothers.
Oh, you start at like 7.
Oh yeah, go 7 to 9. I forgot about that. Oh my God, it's just 7 hours of utter chaos.
Oh, it's just great.
And then when it's game day, you start at 7 in the morning.
Shit, we started at 6.
That's right, we did. Yep.
Got it.
It was
1,000 degrees in Ethan's
apartment. I sent the Snapchat. 5:54, beer 30. And yeah, we made it. And the crazy part is too is if I was 21 at the time, we would have went out after.
Oh, I forgot you weren't 21 yet. I forgot about that.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was still a hell of a long day.
No matter the story, anytime you go to Iowa City, be prepared for a long day and hydrate the week leading up to, because you're going to need it.
Just don't trust Dylan if he says he's going to stay up with you driving through the middle of the night, because he falls asleep within 20 minutes.
Connor fell asleep before we got to I-80.
Well, I will say I don't ever remember saying I was going to stay up with you.
He said I sucked at singing and that hurt.
Oh no.
It's okay. I suck at singing too, but you got to stay safe. So it could have been worse. If I have to endure your shitty singing, if that meant I'm be able to stay alive, I guess you know what, I can handle it.
And then we woke up the next morning and Mary had breakfast ready for us.
She did, and then I cramped going up the steps.
I forgot about that.
I drooled so much I left a mark on the air mattress.
Nice. I remember that day. I probably spent an hour talking to my folks. It was like 4:30. I was like, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah.
That's right. We did get in late, and we had a chance to just, and we also had a chance to just stay the night in Iowa City. We had a room that was going to be paid for.
But then we said we don't want to drive the 8 hours on Sunday. We drove the 8 hours on Friday, and it was awful. So we were so stupid. We should have just done that.
Oh. Yeah.
That's what happens when you're 20 and 21 years old.
Oh God, what a disaster that was.
But
yeah, we weren't smart.
No.
Book time.
No, yes. Let's get to the book time. It is Purple Haze.
Oh, and was it a haze?
I think I said that was a Prince song, but it's actually a Jimi Hendrix song.
Purple Rain is Prince there, my guy.
Purple Rain, yeah.
Yeah, I said it last week that we're going to the Prince song, but it was not because it was getting confused. I was on vacation mode, and I was just dumb. So
well, you said it. We were all thinking it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know it. Oh, you know.
But well, this chapter gets off to a hot start with Jim Marshall running the wrong way. And the funny part about this too is he ran the wrong way for a safety, and the Vikings still actually somehow won the game.
Dude,
Impressive.
Since they won the game, I almost don't know if this should qualify as a heartbreak. Like it's a stupid play.
Well, and if you look at the book, it's the heartbreak rating. You can't really see it here, but it's only like a 2 out of 5 on the heartbreak meter.
But like
they won the game.
The Vikings almost moved. That should have been high. That wasn't even listed. That should have been on here before this.
Which one?
The Vikings almost moved. That's not even freaking on here.
That's true.
Oh well, because I think it was considered in the top 12, wasn't it? Or am I thinking?
No, you're
thinking
of something else.
Okay. So the Vikings almost moving. That's not even in the book.
Which is incredible.
It's right. Yeah.
This city would be so fucked without the Vikings.
Oh, it's the Vikings.
It would be.
The Vikings is what holds everything down. We go to the Twins games to have a good time in the summer and be with friends, and get disappointed baseball time. Come October, but the Vikings is what people live and breathe for in here.
Could you the parade if the Vikings ever win a Super Bowl?
They'd burn the city down again.
Oh my gosh.
You better loop the shit out of those light poles.
Yeah.
I was talking to my mom about this today, guys, earlier. It would be like on the magnitude for people when the Cubs won. They haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be even higher.
It would be right up there.
The even like when the Royals won it, they had however many million people. Yeah. They would compete with the Chiefs for like the Super Bowl parade from when they won it in 2020.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
Or 19, but 19. Yeah, the year 2020. But and then they traded Fran Tarkington because Norm Van Brocklin, Vikings' first head coach, who it was actually in the book it was actually they talk about how that Bud Grant was actually the first was actually also in the running, and then sounds like the Vikings front office was taking too long of a time to make a decision, and he pulled out, and they had to go with Brocklin, and then they trade Fran Tarkington because didn't like that he scrambled too much and didn't think that play style was going to last.
Like, I've heard of egos in sports and coaches and executives' office, but this has to top the cake. Like, to actually trade a guy because you didn't like his style and not try to work with him, to just say the hell with you, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he was the face of the franchise, and they basically just threw him off to the side of the road.
I mean, Norm Van Brocklin, can he walk through a door, or is his head too big?
I don't know. Let's see if he has a big head.
It's just like, I'm serious. Like, I don't get it.
Dumbass. The amount of
he was nicknamed the Dutchman. He does kind of have a big head, very fat face.
Oh, what a surprise!
Is he a candidate for Mount Rushmore of terrible people in Minnesota sports?
He very well might be.
He could be. He could be. Speaking of which, Ethan, I know this is on the fly for you, but since we did our Mount Rushmores with Ross Brendel a couple episodes back, do you think you'd be able to knock one out like when we're done discussing the book in between curveball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
I have a hunch. I already know who the first one is, and if he's not on there,
I got 4.
Well, I know that, but like,
right? Okay, I just verified.
I'm just saying, like, I think I know who 1A is, and if it's not this person, I don't know Ethan.
You probably do. I watch highlights of him in bed.
Yes. Yes, I got it right.
Hannah knows this. It's fine.
I see nothing wrong with it.
No.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
Ethan watches highlights. Grant has peanut butter.
Woof.
It's
woof, baby.
to each their own.
You know what I'm saying? Woof, woof.
And then in 1978, the Vikings lose to Dallas in the NFC Championship game, and which started a string of 6 straight losses in the NFC title.
That was just incredible when I read that. They're not only the first team to lose 4 Super Bowls, but then the first team to lose, 6 straight NFC title games after being in 4 Super Bowls to never make it back? That's incredible.
Truly impressive.
Yeah. And it's kind of what started the downfall of the Purple People Eaters. It was kind of when they kind of had to start, the Vikings had to start rebuilding. And, looking at the score of the Super Bowl, they could have been playing they could have had a really good opportunity to win it because Dallas had no problem with Denver in the Super Bowl.
I mean, that's the ultimate Minnesota thing. Like we said that about the 98 team, the 09 team, and then this team too. And even like we talked way back, that 75 team on the Hail Mary. I mean,
yep.
We're playing the hypothetical game, but Christ.
It wasn't the NFC Championship, but the push-off in Dallas. I mean,
yeah, what the ref called. And and then the next one is the Vikings had a chance to promote Buddy Ryan, which I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary with about the 85 Bears.
Yeah,
but they talk about how and they were gonna Buddy Ryan at the time, he was the Vikings D-line coach, and the general manager from the Vikings went over to the Bears and decided to bring over the D coordinator as the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vikings, that was supposed to be a promotion for Buddy Ryan to go as the D coordinator. They didn't offer him it, and he follows this Armstrong to
Chicago,
and well, the rest is history.
It would have been interesting to see what else he could have done with the Purple People Eaters, because he was obviously a large part of how they developed and how they played. Like, and then you don't even give him the chance to kind of run the whole thing just to see what would happen. Like, that would basically. I'm trying to think. I guess I'm trying to think of like something now that would be similar to that, where they just said "fuck them."
Well,
I guess that becomes like Keenan McCardell, our wide receivers coach. Say our OC goes away and you don't give him the chance to do it, even though he's built like this crazy good wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a sniff.
Well,
or like Ohio State, saying, with Hartline not giving him the OC job.
Well, guys, even like take this back, like 2015, in Seattle, Gus Bradley, he left. They, got Dan Quinn, and then when Dan Quinn went to Atlanta, they promoted their defensive backs coach, which was Chris Richards, right? I believe, who then he groomed the Legion of Boom. He orchestrated that room. So Seattle was like, hey, this guy built our secondary what it is. Let's give him a shot to call the reins. So they did it the right way. But of course, it's Minnesota, and the Vikings don't do those things. They don't use logic.
Absolutely not.
They don't promote from within. No. And when someone does a good job and gives you one of the best nicknames in pro football history is the Purple People Eaters, you can't promote this guy? Come on now, what are we doing?
Right. Stupid.
Yeah. And then we the last game at Met Stadium.
This was fantastic.
Oh boy, this is. There was nobody hurt. This was the Vikings were getting ready to move to the Metrodome, and they played the Chiefs in the last game of the year. They still had a shot to potentially make the playoffs, but by all accounts, this was basically going to be the last game at Met Stadium. And the Vikings very, very did not get to send it out in a very good way. They only were able to kick 2 field goals and lost 10-6. But with 5 minutes left in the game, the fans started to tear the stadium apart. They were bringing in power tools to take their seats, which you often see, because I believe this happened at Cleveland Municipal when the Browns left to go to Baltimore. But there were also
the best one, guys.
They were also climbing the scoreboard.
The best one was they were stealing urinals and it caused flooding in the stadium.
How does none of this come up when they talk about the new stadium the Vikings built like 6 years ago? No one mentioned any of this last time they built a stadium.
This is hilarious.
And they had to use mace to get the fans off the field.
And they're like, yeah, there was 10 to 12 officers at the stadium, but they were heavily outnumbered. No kidding.
Well, typically they do 10 to 12.
Yeah, there was 50. Normally it was 10 to 12.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be a heartbreak though. This should be like a celebration. Like, this is fantastic.
It's so great.
You know why? And you know why they brought in troughs? Well, I think every stadium needs to bring back troughs. There's just a special moment of you're with all your 50,000 of your best friends, and you're all peeing into the same toilet. I think troughs need to make a comeback.
Fair.
They still have them at Wrigley Field, which there's not many nice things this podcast is going to say about the Cubs, but they have troughs. So there's my nice thing I've said about the Cubs.
Well, there's your.
No, Target Field's cheap. They don't even have the dividers in between the urinals. So what's the point?
Yeah, you're right. They just have a bunch of urinals screwed onto the wall. You might as well just get a trough.
Yep, horse shit.
I mean, people are going to struggle to piss anyway. So just get the trough out. Make it an experience.
Like that woman. Yeah. She's getting walk. You think she's going to go piss in the urinal? Hell no.
Hell no.
Oh, Grant's dead.
No, I don't think so. Hello.
Oh, no, he's here.
Hello. Okay.
So, and then after they freshly moved in, our new tenants in the Metrodome, Bud Grant resigns, and they hire this guy who's, I believe his brother coached at Missouri State, was the head coach at Missouri State. He was the longtime D coordinator for Missouri. They hire him. He thinks it's boot camp for the military. They go 3-13, and he, talk about a dictator. It was this guy. And then Jerry Burns, the future head coach, is going to get mentioned later on in this book as well. This guy was such a bad head coach and such a bad leader that Burns, the OC, resigned because he was like, he took all the play calling from me. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So see ya. And then and then when the owners asked him to resign, he said no. So they fired him.
Just a terrible tenure.
Would that have been if he agreed to resign the original guys? We agreed to mutually part ways. Would that have been the original?
It might have been.
Well, the Vikings are famous for something.
Hey, but this time they decided to promote from within, and without being a head coach anywhere at any level. Let's get the wide receivers coach a shot.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when he has no coaching experience.
What an absolute disaster! And yet you had players passing out at training camp, practices all the time. People saying, "Hey, this is too hard," and you're not listening to your players. Like, what? You got to listen to your players.
Absolutely.
Especially if you see people passing out all the time in the hot summer sun. Stop.
Yeah, and then it got Bud Grant a lifetime contract, though. And then, they hired Jerry Burns the next year.
Also,
and then
this dude getting fired after his team lost 51-7. Nathaniel Hackett must have saw that and said, you know what, I'm going to try to almost do that. And he did that on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
He did. Against the Rams, against the far worse team, too.
Baker Mayfield led Rams.
Yeah.
Who was there for like a week?
Well, yeah. He was there just enough time to get a cold shower, jump in the sauna, and kick the shit out of the Broncos on Christmas Day.
You love to see it.
Yeah, and then we go to the NFC Championship game against Washington. It's a team where the Vikings kind of just snuck in and got hot at the right time. And they find a way to make it to the NFC Championship. Another situation where they get in. You got to like their chances against the
Broncos, right?
Their chances against the Broncos, yeah. And they had a shot to win, and then Nelson drops a pass that would have been able to walk in, and they had 8 drops on the day, and they lost 17-10.
If that's not,
that was coming off a World Series, too, for the Twins.
And the Twins, kind of just like the Vikings
same year.
that year, snuck into the playoffs. They probably shouldn't have made it, and they took out the top 2 contenders, and they got it figured out.
And what's crazy too is it was happened on the same day that the Browns lost to the Broncos in the AFC Championship game on the Ernest Biner fumble. Which, it's fitting that it's a Minnesota and Cleveland team.
Just 2 cities of just absolute misery.
Yeah,
but Dylan,
that was the John Elway the drive.
I thought that was the fumble and was the drive the next year, or was the drive the year before?
No, maybe the drive was the year before.
The drive was the year before.
Okay. Because I think the drive was actually, no, was it? Well, you know what? We have smartphones here.
I'm pretty sure they were 2 separate occasions, and I think the drive happened the year before, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. Sports.
But also,
it was in the 87 or 86 AFC Championship game in Cleveland Municipal. So yeah, it was the year before.
But yeah,
you're right.
This is not Minnesota. I don't know what it is. 8 dropped passes on the day. 8.
It was, that is that's tough to win a game with 8 drop passes.
Jeepers, criminy.
Easy.
But we go to Steve Young embarrassing the Vikings defense on a run. This was October 30th, 1988. They were leading late in the 4th quarter. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was reading this, I got flashbacks of Robert RG3's rookie year where he went on had that long run. That's kind of what I feel like watching this would have been.
I would have compared it to the Mike Vick run in overtime.
Or that one too,
at the Metrodome, where he had 2 defenders run into each other.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Literally run into each other as he blew by them to end the game.
Steve Young's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Why is this a heartbreaker? He made a great fucking play.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. And on the heart,
the Michael Vick one's way worse, if you ask me. In overtime, like a 60-yard run to win it, like.
And also a heart rate level of 4. Like, I wouldn't. It's a regular season game. It's not like.
Yeah, and I think it was also because it was from the year before, where they beat them. I don't.
Or they shocked.
I'm not sure.
They shocked him the year before in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't understand. Like, to Ethan's point, Steve Young, he's a Hall of Famer. He made a play.
Yeah.
At the time, he wasn't a Hall of Famer, but then you find out the next year when he signed with. Drawing a blank now here.
The USFL.
The USFL, and the Vikings were GM at the time.
Or that was in '84 though. That was in '84 when he did that.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, the Vikings GM says craziest, dumbest, and poorest decision deal that he could recall. Look at that. They let another one go.
Made the Herschel Walker deal about 5 years later.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, Steve Young, he just made a play. I don't see what's wrong with that. Or maybe it's because they were down their first Hall of Fame quarterback, and the Vikings thought, hey, they're out of Montana. We're gonna win this game.
Well, and they finished the second in the division. So if they win that game, they probably get a higher seed, and they play them in the NFC Championship instead of the divisional round.
Yeah, true.
So maybe that's what it is.
But I don't know if anybody was gonna mess around and beat the Niners that year.
No, it doesn't look like it. They mopped the floor with the Bengals.
Let's call a spade a spade. Nobody was beating the Niners that year.
Nope.
And then going into 2000, that was Dante Culpepper's first year as a starter. They cut Randall Cunningham. Jeff George left for Washington. And they tried to go out and get Dan Marino, but he would not come out of retirement.
See, that's another thing
which would have been crazy to see.
I didn't know that until now.
I heard it on the radio.
I remember it. I remember reading it somewhere that they were trying to get him to come out of retirement. But...
I heard K-Fan talk. Was it Rosie talking about it like a week ago? I want to say.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it blew my mind. I had no idea how close they were.
But yeah, I was thinking, Vikings tried to sign Marino. I've never heard of that before. How have I not heard that?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
This was probably the first.
We were pretty young.
Yeah, this is still the first game I remember the Vikings just like absolutely shit in the bed. This is like my first like vivid memory of it. This really was just the beginning of hell on earth and being a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to say I was sick, and I remember like I was out of it and like I was like sleeping and I like kind of woke up from my nap and I remember I looked up and I think it was both my parents in there. I'm like, did the Vikings win? Oh no, D. They got beat bad.
Well, it's funny.
I still remember my dad being, "You stupid cocksuckers," and slamming his beer and going to the room.
Well, it's funny, guys. On this day, I remember this to this day. We're down in Iowa visiting my dad's parents, and down the road from the house that my dad grew up on, there was a house fire in Albia.
Hey.
So the whole neighborhood is going watching the fire department take this down. And I don't know, I'm 6 at the time. I get my coat on and I see my grandpa, my dad's dad. I'm standing next to him and we're just watching the fire department put this fire out. And then you go back and you turn the Vikings game on and it's like, well, that the same thing happened. The fire department was more entertaining. Yeah, me and Daryl Senior
throw in the damn towel.
Me and Daryl Senior are gonna go back and we're gonna watch the fire department try to get this house on the golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a shit day.
But yeah, the Vikings know the Giants were a run-heavy offense, and they let Kerry Collins just torch them.
Forward fucking yards for 500 yards, whatever the hell.
Oh my God, that's just awful.
Culpepper, 78 yards, 3 interceptions.
Jeepers.
How about that was a loaded quarterback room though before the season, like this prior season.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jeepers.
Jeff George was a solid quarterback. Randall Cunningham was coming off a couple of good years, and then Dante Culpepper was kind of the guy they were looking for. They drafted as the future, which wild that it was 2 years without playing, and he would have been going into his third year with if they actually signed Dan Marino.
Yeah. Crazy.
But okay, move on to back-to-back years where the Vikings, they don't draft a player in time twice,
and it worked out.
It's crazy, but it worked out.
It did. They got.
They got Bryant McKinney. I think it's and Kevin Williams, great players. I think it's just the optics.
Yeah.
And the argument is they could have traded down and gotten some picks, but in the end you still got a guy that's in the Vikings ring of honor, and I don't know if McKinney is, or he has to be pretty close to it, isn't he?
I don't think he is, but he definitely has to be. At least in consideration.
Well, and then
Kevin Williams should be consideration for the straight up Hall.
Yeah, I don't know how Kevin Williams isn't in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That amazes me.
He was a freaking.
When did he because he's got to be eligible.
I think it's been 5 years for sure.
Yeah, he played 11 seasons. What year was he drafted? 2003.
2003.
Oh, yeah, he's been able for like 4 years.
Well, then he also played with Seattle for a couple of years too,
or
a year or two. Well, still.
15 was the last. 15 was the last year, so he's
eligible.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a member of the 50 greatest Vikings. He's a member of the 2000s All-Decade team. 6 Pro Bowls.
Wasn't he how many time All-Pro too?
5 times.
5-time first-team All-Pro.
How is a 5-time first-team All-Pro member of the 2000s All-Decade team? How is he not in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Because
he's a D tackle.
Cowboys.
Well, and I get, I heard Warren Sapp say the other day, there's only 5 first ballot Hall of Fame D tackles. Even then, Kevin Williams is a Hall of Famer. I know he's not a first ballot.
Absolutely.
But he's a Hall of Famer.
Ryan McKinney was damn good if he was ever fully invested.
Yeah, if he wanted to actually be in shape and work out, he'd be a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
He liked his time on the boat though. You know what?
Well, and
what boat coming up next?
The McKinney, I once witnessed him at Chipotle after a training camp practice in Mankato. It was the first day in pads. It was 87 degrees in Mankato. Hot, humid summer day. They just got after it for 2.5 hours in full pads.
How many burritos did this motherfucker have?
2 burritos in a bowl.
Oh.
It was incredible. And at the time, I was struggling to eat my 1 burrito. And I'm like, how did this guy do this times 3? That's incredible.
He's a big boy.
He's a big man.
He's bigger than your house.
Oh, my gosh. And then you see him walking in, and you're like, yeah, this is a big dude right here.
And
he's
then the
6'7", 330, just a mountain of a man.
Yeah. And then the next one up is the Cardinals knock Vikings out of the playoffs in the famous Paul Allen. No!
That was terrible.
And I remember watching this game, and I remember the Cardinals scoring to get it to 17-13. I'm like, Cardinals are going to recover the onside kick here, and the Vikings are definitely going to lose this game. And then it happens too, where they actually kind of toughen up there, and they get 2 sacks to get down to the 28, and they still find a way to score.
Yeah, the Cardinals were down to the 6, and the Vikings defense said, "No, we're going to straighten this out." They lose 22 yards in 2 plays, and they still find a way to choke the game away. You got to be kidding.
With no timeouts either, and the clock was running.
Unbelievable.
I'd argue this is the second worst loss in Vikings history outside of wide left.
Well, and we're going to be getting to that one soon too. And I just remember listening on SportsCenter the Paul Allen play call. No.
And then also, guys, that season they started 6-0 and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
First team, Bert said, I think.
I mean, at week 6 they woke up 6-0, and then at week 10 they're 6-4.
And they've done that twice now, isn't it? I want to say it's twice because in 16 they got out. Or maybe it was 5-0.
5-0, 5-1. Yeah, they were hot. In the first 6 games of the year, people are comparing them to the '85 Bears.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, that was I think, was this the year that Mike Tice got, or was it the next year where Mike Tice got busted for scalping Super Bowl tickets?
It was the next year.
Yeah.
It was the next year, okay. Yeah, because then in 2005, the Vikings traded Randy Moss to Oakland after he shot the moon to the crowd.
That was fantastic.
And
they have shirts of that.
It was well deserved.
That might be the best moment in Minnesota sports history.
I really want to buy the shirt, but Hannah says she won't go with me anywhere if I wear it.
Well, Ethan, there might be some time where we're just hanging out and Hannah's not there.
I might just have to get it.
And then also, just when Moss mooned the fans, Joe Buck, that is disgusting. It's such a disgraceful act.
That is just a disgusting
That's not allowed on TV. Talk about a fun vacuum.
No kidding.
Go back to ESPN, you coward.
So it's okay. It's okay when Joe Buck can get hair plugs And when Packer fans actually moon opposing fans, but when Moss fakes it, it's not cool. Come on.
And then they go and draft Troy Williamson.
Fucking drops himself.
And I don't remember how was Napoleon Harris as a Viking? Was he did he have a solid career? Was he worth a obviously he's not a Hall of Famer like Randy Moss was, but
he didn't.
How did he play for him?
He didn't last that long because some guy named E.J. Henderson came in and told Napoleon to get the hell out of town.
And then he fucked up his knee and it was done.
Oh no, he broke his femur.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was disgusting.
That was in Arizona.
Yeah, on Sunday night. Yeah, he broke his femur.
Yeah, that's right. That was the 09 year. That was the Brett year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Napoleon, he didn't do much. It was EJ came in and it was pretty much his job.
Gotcha. Okay, and then the same year, what a season in Minnesota. My oh my. The Vikings players get into trouble on the Love Boat.
Can you imagine being like a press reporter for this team this year? My God.
If you're the beat reporter.
Reality TV show.
They trade Randy Moss. Ontario Smith gets suspended for the Wizinator. the Red McCombs trades the team. They caused so much stress on the owner. He just said, "To hell with you guys. I'm done. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm selling you guys."
Oh my God!
On some fucking dude's lawn.
Yeah.
Oh my God! This is a scene straight out of reality TV.
And Dante Culpepper gets traded, and then it all comes out. He gets charged for it too, and he's like, he didn't do anything.
He did nothing.
And then they trade him to.
He did nothing wrong. And I just love how
and then
thing, it all happened within 40 minutes.
Yeah, I know that's the crazy part too. It's like this just got out of hand.
Price got fired within 20 minutes after the season.
It's funny. Because the erotic dancers, limousines, they're shouting at the wait staff, and people are having sex on the floor in front of other people. It's just incredible.
And then they were trying to get the bartenders to start dancing.
Oh, guys, it's so funny. Then the next year, catch this. So we're talking about the Love Boat, and you know how Fred Smoot put this thing together.
Well, and you know who else was also on this Vikings team? That's not mentioned in this is Darren Sharper.
Oh.
And you can go look up the Darren Sharper if you're unaware of his situation, but he was not. I don't know if he was here or not, but he was also part of this Vikings team.
So he decided to sit this one out.
Yeah.
No. This is what Sharper said this time. There's witnesses.
This is where I draw the line.
But what's fun, guys, speaking of training camp stories, the next year, they're having their big Saturday night practice at Mankato at Blakesley. And the sideline we're sitting on is the sideline the defense is on. They're going defense versus offense on, one sideline. And standing right in front of, the sideline by the fence in the stands was two very, very attractive women. And they were dressed to the occasion. They looked like they were trying to get picked up by one of the players to have a good time. Fleet chasers. Some guy in the stands yells down, "Hey, Smoot, what do you think about those two right there for you?" He turned around and he kind of winked and he gave him a thumbs up.
Oh God!
Hey, Smoot, what about them
That's
two?
Grant, as training camp starts, you better start loading up on some stories here because we'll do a segment of stories from training camp here.
Just fantastic.
And then we've got another one. We're moving along here. The Vikings trade for Randy Moss and then release him.
Fuck Brett.
And which was a disastrous 2010 season. Brett Favre comes back.
That season makes my brain hurt.
And then and to top it all off, the Packers are the team that wins the Super Bowl that year.
And Brad Childress' last game was against the Packers and the Metrodome.
That's right. Yeah, when Favre got into it with Darrell Bevell, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the first time Brett Favre's ever missed a game.
But also just
and then
what was incredible was like in New England, the reason why the Patriots traded him was they had that charity dinner. People paid to sit at the table with Randy Moss, and he said, "No, not for me, fam. I'm not doing that." He just said, "No, I'm sitting all here by myself." If that doesn't epitomize Randy Moss, I don't know what does.
No. Well, you know what's also crazy is like looking back at this is it amazes me how long Brad Childress made it as an NFL coach, and it makes sense because the teams he had were really talented rosters, but like he was not a good head coach.
No. And you know what's sad? This could be a heartbreak, one that's not in the book, guys. The year the Vikings hired Childress, the Packers had an opening because they fired, was it Sherman? Mike Sherman? They fired him.
Yep.
Who I think then went to A&M.
Yeah, I think
the Vikings were so worried Green Bay was going to hire Childress. That's why they wanted to get him so bad. Because they thought the Packers were going to get Childress. And the Packers ended up getting Mike McCarthy.
Boy, Mike McCarthy, the Vikings coach. Could that...
Potentially.
I wonder how that would have...
Could you imagine Aaron Rodgers and Brad Childress working together?
No. Oh no, I could not.
One sentence.
You want to talk about a reputation as a coach killer?
Oh, Jesus. That would have been a joke.
But what did you guys think of Mike Tice as a head coach?
I liked him.
He's better than Childress.
He always seemed like a big stooge to me, but maybe that's just because he was an offensive lineman.
And he was like 6'8".
Yeah, he was a mountain of a man.
I don't know if he was 6'8", but he was tall, big dude.
Hey, I've seen him at Bunnies a few times.
Here?
Okay. Yeah. He's still pretty active.
He's pulling.
I was listening to a podcast a while back, and like, I guess he's a very, very friendly guy.
Oh yeah, he was just chatting up some table with him. Could have been the people he was with, but Ethan, he had a mountain of pull tabs on his table.
Oh, I bet he did.
Mountain of pull tabs.
Sounds like my type of guy.
Oh yeah, he was just chatting people up, eating popcorn, having pull tabs. It was funny seeing him there. Just one of the guys here in Minneapolis.
And then she just decides to go rogue and say, "Yeah, I'm cutting you. You're done here."
But yeah.
And then he was fired like a week later.
Boss tells people that he wouldn't. They're doing catering. I wouldn't feed the shit to my dog.
Yeah.
Randy.
Just that quote is basically describing that Vikings season in a nutshell.
Oh, it was an absolute just disaster.
And then we go to a game where we were all roommates here in this one, and this was this is the Blair Walsh misses game-winning playoff kick here. And story time is that we were all living together. We were all coming back from Christmas break, and I left early enough to get back so we could get there and see the start of the game. I remember, and Connor comes over. We're all watching the game. We're all cheering for the Vikings, and it's getting there. This game was one of the coldest games in Vikings history. And
Grant walked out in a fucking t-shirt.
Bud Grant walked out in a t-shirt.
Legend mode.
Grant and I was at the regular season game before this, and it was so bad that we were ready to leave at halftime. A dude got kicked out because he was pouring beer on the refs because their calls were so horrendous. And it was the Viking. Adrian Peterson had a fumble in the game. Going in, Blair Walsh had made three kicks. And
also,
it was a game where
didn't Seattle score on some fluke play where the ball went in the air?
It was. They had 2 plays all game where Russell. I think it was a snap that went over Russell's head.
Right. Yep.
Then he found Doug.
And then
Baldwin
was it Baldwin or Lockett? Was it a rookie Tyler Lockett?
I think it was Baldwin.
Okay.
I want to say it was Baldwin, yeah, because that guy made so many plays, and it's I don't know how, but he was always open.
And he broke his fucking neck.
He did, and then And as this drive is materializing, we're all getting excited. We're all jumping on the couch, and we thought we were like part of the team. So we all four of us that are watching this game, we all get down on a knee. We are locked arms watching it, and kind of not watching it. It was more so like Ethan's face right now, where he had it like the peeking over his eyes, so he could kind of watch it. He kicks it and just shanks it to the left. We dropped to the ground, just face down, like we were all just shot all four at once, execution style. And we just lay there. And then
what you're forgetting, Dylan?
And then Connor goes about like 10 minutes later. Yeah, guys, I knew he was going to miss.
Well, and what you're forgetting is this. He opened up the patio door and wanted to jump off the third floor deck.
That's right.
Enough is enough, and he wanted to jump off the deck.
What a fuck.
That was just that game still makes me sick. Cause
the next one isn't any better. He misses the 2 fucking kicks in overtime versus the Packers.
Oh my God.
The difference is Carlson was able to bounce back and actually have a really good career. Blair Walsh, after that, he was done.
Oh, he was cooked. Put a fork in him and consider him cooked.
And the sad part about it too is his career started off really well, because his first NFL game was against the Jags, and he kicked a 52-yarder to win.
It was further. It was like 59 or almost.
Yeah, it was almost 60.
Yeah, you're right. I knew it was like a 50-yarder, because that was a game where the Jags scored. They scored late, and I remember everybody was, oh, here we go again with the Vikings. They're going to blow a late lead. And then I remember commenting, not quite.
Not quite.
Yeah, we were there.
The Christian Ponder years.
Well, yeah, but he was an All-Pro that year.
Blair? Yeah.
He was an All-Pro.
Yeah, first team.
Yeah, and then the next one is Daniel Carlson misses 2 field goals in overtime. And I remember that game. That game was a range of emotions.
Oh, my God.
I remember watching that with all Viking fans, and it was, oh, here we go. And then they're lining up for the kick. And the first one, Crosby hits. He makes it. And everybody's, no! And then it's like, oh, he missed it. And they're getting ready to go. And similarly, we were all excited thinking they were going to win. And then he shanks both.
I just remember.
And then the Zimmer quotes.
The next day, hey, what?
Why did you cut him?
Did you what?
Did you see the game?
You see the game? I just remember seeing Daniel Carlson after he missed the second one when it hit the upright, right, to tie the game. You just could read his. You could just read his lips. He just goes, "Fuck."
See
you later.
There you go.
But of course, now he redeems himself as one of the best kickers for the Las Vegas.
Yeah. And then we the Vikings' memorable first-round draft bust. First one, Demetrius Underwood out of Michigan State. And the coaches there warned him of character issues.
The Michigan State coaches.
Yes.
This one just blew my freaking mind.
And he didn't even report. He didn't even play a game in the NFL.
He was.
I wonder what he's up to nowadays.
Training camp for a week and said, "Nah, fam, I'm good. Here's your $50,000 back. I don't want to go."
Yeah. And then they draft Troy Williamson to replace Randy Moss, who couldn't catch the ball or couldn't see the ball.
The dude had
and then the dude, I'm sure our hands are just as good as Troy Williamson's hands.
They might be. They might be. And then Ethan's favorite quarterback of all time, Christian Ponder.
I liked Christian.
He had a good year. He had a good year in 13, and then Percy Harvin got hurt and traded, and then his career went downhill after that.
He was rolling the year he broke his collarbone, and then he was never the same after he broke his collarbone. I'm
pretty sure that was 13.
I think it was. He was playing.
Or 12. 12. It was 12.
Was it?
Well, no.
Because that was the year that Adrian broke the record.
You're right. Maybe?
I thought he got hurt the next year. I thought he got hurt the next year when they had Matt Castle.
No, it wasn't the year they made the playoffs. He got hurt.
Yeah, I think it was 13.
Okay, it would have been the next year then.
Yeah, when, like I said, they signed Matt Castle to be his backup.
he hurt his arm in week 17 versus the Packers and didn't play in the playoff game because of how
that's right.
His arm looked like he was a black man. It was so bruised.
Well, yeah, and he couldn't grip the ball that rookie year.
Yeah. It was the next year or 2 years later, one of the two where he broke his collarbone versus Washington, I believe, on Thursday Night Football.
I want to say that was 13, guys.
That was 13 then,
like I said, with Matt Castle.
He was playing fucking great.
And then the Josh Freeman debacle.
Oh, Jesus. The Monday night where they throw it 50 times when they sign him on a Wednesday. And
they complete like 4 passes.
When the wind was whipping at like 50 miles an hour.
Oh, my God.
At MetLife.
And you know what's crazy, too, is there were a lot of people after because Leslie Frazier was the coach at the time. There were a lot of people that wanted him to be the head coach over Brad Childress, even in the 2006 year. And turns out he didn't work out as a head coach either.
I will say this. I think Leslie would have had a better shot, but that was just a weird year and a weird team. Because that 13 team lost so many. What's new? They lost so many games they could have won and probably should have won.
Yeah.
But yeah, funny how that works out.
Yeah.
Yep, and then we got some quick hits out of bounds. The Vikings missed out on Bud Grant as head coach. That was for the that was the running we talked about earlier, where it was down to 2, and then Bud decided the Vikings were waiting too long, so he said, "You know what? I'm just going to stay in Canada." Eh? And then Darren Nelson asked the Vikings to not pick him.
This one actually absolutely amazed me, Dylan.
So stupid.
He says
because they didn't have discos.
Well, and then someone tells him Minneapolis has a disco. It's not a small city, and he goes, "I don't want to go to a disco and have to listen to country music."
This guy was not smart.
And he tells them
no, but he went to Stanford. How do you get into Stanford?
He went to Stanford, and the Vikings backup quarterback said, "Yeah, he's an explosive player." He couldn't have been that explosive. He didn't win the Heisman Trophy like Marcus Allen, who they passed on.
Well, yeah, and then they could have had Marcus Allen, and they take this guy.
How explosive of a player is he if he wasn't even the best running back in his college conference?
Yeah.
Right.
The Heisman Trophy winning future Hall of Fame running back Marcus Allen. They could have had him. The guy told them he didn't want to come here, and they still took him.
And it pretty much almost happened with this next one with Bernie Kosar versus the Vikings GM Mike Lynn.
Oh my!
Where Kosar wanted to play for the hometown team, so he said, "You know what? I'm taking my name out of the draft, and I'll just go in the supplemental draft."
You know what? Who cares about this one? We got a fucking Hall of Famer.
You're right.
That is true.
So there's that, and then Coach Burns melts down after a win. I've seen the clips of this one. Dropped 18 F-bombs.
Wow.
And the reporters did a good job of journalisming and kept asking him questions to get some good quotes. And then he ends it by calling them fuckers at the end.
Such a great line.
Then the infamous
this was after they won the game. And this was not the same people that were pouring beer on the refs at the game we went to, Grant, but there were fans pouring beers off on the Vikings offensive coordinator here, if I ever find his name, Schnelker. And then to top this one off is the original Wizinator. Who doesn't remember Ontario Smith, boys?
Wizinator.
I was so pumped when I got his rookie card.
And he was stopped by Minneapolis MSP security at an airport because they found something in his bag that caught their attention. What they found, vials of a white powder and a prosthetic replica of male genitalia. He was taken to
that sentence alone just puts a smile on my face.
He admitted it was dried urine, and he explained that the prosthetic was a device called a Wizinator, which was used to beat drug tests. And you would just add water to the dried urine, fill the Wizinator with the fake urine, and wear the Wizinator to urinate and avoid failing a drug test. He said it was for his cousin. judging by his previous drug tests, I would say it was not for his cousin. I would say his cousin probably got it for him.
The fact Buster's bought this for $750 is incredible. Is it still there? Grant, is it still there?
Is it? Yeah. You're gonna, when you go back to Mankato, you're gonna have to go to Buster's and see if the Wizinator's still there.
Oh my God, I'm doing it. Buster's. Who would have? I for the longest time.
Right next to like where Stadium was, like that breakfast.
No, no, Buster's. You know the McDonald's on Madison Avenue, Ethan, the Madison Avenue Mall. Yes. It's right on Madison Avenue, and is it Madison Avenue and 22?
Okay.
Kind of by like the Fitness for 10. If you're is
it on campus?
It's not on campus.
Okay. I'm trying to think of something else then on campus. The brunch place. I can't remember what it's called.
Weggies.
That's
No. There's another spot the guys went to. Oh shit, it's pissing me off. People go there Thursday night for trivia. But it's
damn good breakfast.
Oh yeah, Weggies is the breakfast joint. Yeah, Weggies.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, Weggies. Yeah. Oh, best breakfast in Mankato.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Well, next time you go back to Mankato, that's where you got to eat. You got to send us a picture of this.
I'll go there on Wednesday with our classic car rolling with the Wizinator.
There you go. But so then, fellas, for next, that wraps up the Purple Haze, and I guess it's fitting that a guy with a failed. We end with somebody who enjoyed the Purple Haze.
Touche.
So then next week, do we want to just go chapter 6, Disorder in Dinkytown?
Let's do it.
And then, so this one, Ethan. We're really opening up some wounds for Ethan here. On the next one, he disappeared. I just had so much distress.
Open those wounds
he's back. He's back here, and so we have like I said, we're gonna give Ethan his chance. The floor is yours here. You're gonna give us your Mount Rushmore of Minnesota sports.
Okay. First one, I don't think this is gonna be expected. I don't think you're expecting me to say this one. Lindsay Whalen.
Do you want to hear ours first? Actually.
Sure.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. So I know mine was Herb Brooks, Bud Grant, Kirby Puckett, and Sid Hartman.
Okay.
I believe I had Kirby Puckett, Harmon Killebrew, Bud Grant, and I'm drawing a blank. I didn't have Kevin Garnett on there. I almost had him on there. He was an honorable mention last time, so I could throw him on here. I cannot remember my fourth pick.
Was it Bud Grant?
Yeah.
Or Randy Moss. You had Randy Moss.
That's what it was. Yeah, Randy Moss, Bud Grant, Kirby Puckett, Harmon Killebrew, with KG as the honorable mention.
I'm going to go Lindsay Whalen. Led the Gophers.
Oh, okay. So that's who Ross had as one of his.
Right.
Okay. And then, they're the only team that's won anything since we've been alive.
Which is what Ross also said.
So, I think that one's almost a shoo-in for me. I'll go Adrian Peterson. He was the guy.
Yeah, he was the guy.
Well, he was the best player we've ever seen in Minnesota. Arguably, maybe best running back we've ever seen. So I'll go AP.
Yeah, I guess if you think about it, for our time, he's probably the most dominant running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him or maybe LT.
I think the only one that really could compare would be
LT.
But I think AP was a better running back. I'll go Bud Grant second. Revolutionized literally all of the Vikings. Like, made them better than what they ever were or what they would be without him. And then the last one, Grant knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's Joe fucking Mauer. I would go game for the man, but I absolutely love him. He's literally like my hero. So yeah, definitely gotta go Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's
he better be the Twins next
damn.
year.
Well, 3/4 of them are damn near all Minnesota people that actually grew up in Minnesota.
Yeah, true. Lindsay, Joe, yeah, but did Bud Grant grow up in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Played for the Gophers and the Lakers.
That's right.
Or no, he might be from He might be from Wisconsin.
Well, let's not ruin the moment.
We're gonna let it go.
Yeah.
Let's not ruin the moment.
Yeah, we won't ruin the moment here.
Don't ruin the moment.
So we'll put a bow on this show. I got curveball of the week here. And now it's summer. Things are starting to warm up. You know, golf courses are open unless your name's Grant. But, you know, there's certain things on certain days that just hit different. What is something for you guys that, like, whether it be a food or the vibes, you know, something where it's like, it just feels a little bit better than usual.
Like in the summer to do?
Or any time.
I think hitting the winery on Saturdays, weekends, where it's just, you know, go sit outside. You don't have to sit inside. Go with the vines. Sorry, Grant, this is just
so fucking stupid.
But you get your giant pretzel, and then you get your
smash a pretzel.
Oh, he's back. Grant's back.
You say pretzel with some beer cheese, and I'm in.
It has beer cheese and caramel. I tell you this every time. We're going, Dylan. When you come, we're going.
Deal.
You know, this is something a little different here, but this is what we're here for. Curveball of the week. So going to the Twins game again this Friday. Me, Ethan, Hannah, and anytime I go to the Twins game, I always got to get the helmet nacho. But it takes me back to like when I was a kid, going to different slow pitch games or, you know, tournaments at maybe that I was playing in at Caswell and other little town ballparks. Something about the concession stand taco in a bag at a hot summer afternoon at 2:00 with a Gatorade. It felt right. It's like, this is summer. We're playing baseball. We're watching softball. We're doing whatever. That something about that meal just feels right. Feels about summer. It's baseball.
What are the toppings you're putting on your? What are the toppings you're putting on your on the top taco in a bag?
Okay,
here?
so of course, naturally the ground beef. I'm putting, like, you know, the melted Velveeta cheese on there, shredded cheese, tomatoes, a little sour cream, and if they have onions.
Okay.
Right there.
No salsa or taco sauce?
So if they got salsa, I'll put that on there. Taco sauce, I'm not going to lie. If it's in the little packs that got to break like the ketchup, I'm not doing that because I'm too lazy. But as long as it's right in front of me, I might put a little sauce on there. But
something you just told me, what you just said about the taco in a bag.
Yeah.
It's not a walking taco. It's a
taco in a bag. Yeah, taco in a bag.
Absolutely. You're damn right.
Taco in a bag.
But Trevor Plouffe mentioned this in the game yesterday, but he said his kid went and got a Slurpee or Icy after his Little League baseball game. Oh, my God. Nothing was better. Like, that was better than the damn game.
Like, guys, like, when we were younger, you'd go spend 75 cents to $1.50. I'd get the blue raspberry Icy or slushy.
Oh, yeah.
Just sugar and melted.
I don't even know what you call it anymore.
Sugar and melted ice. And, as a kid, it was just shaved ice. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It takes you back to when life was good.
Yeah.
At the ballpark as a young kid.
Yeah.
And so for me, I would say, and this is on a hot day, like, and this goes back to when I was a driver for Pepsi. So I was actually like working hard and like sweating and grinding out long days in the summer. There was just something about an ice cold Mountain Dew on a 95 degree day where it just tasted like Mountain Dew is always delicious, but there's something about on that hot summer day where it just tasted so much better. I don't know what it was, but that was the go-to drink. That was one of those that I looked forward to drinking.
Well, dude, I'm right there with you because when I was in high school working at Hy-Vee, whenever they'd give me a lunch break or just a quick 15, 20-minute break, the thing that hit home the most was the 35 cents I'd spend to get the 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew. Something about that Pepsi vending machine, it was ice cold. That out of that can, it just hit home, Dylan. Just hit home.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But to your point, and for me, it wasn't Pepsi, it wasn't Dr. Pepper, only Mountain Dew.
Yep. Something about it. And those days are coming. those days will be here before we know it. I'll be able to enjoy a nice cold Mountain Dew. And I don't know if it's just like kind of the sweat that glistens off the bottle too that makes it better, but it's something like that. And I suppose that puts a bow.
I do got to say this: the old Mountain Dew cans were a lot better than the new cans. The new cans suck.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, I don't like the design or just like the way the can was made.
Mainly for me, just the design. Like that dark green and red was just you felt like you were drinking all the caffeine in the world. It's like as a kid, like that was your Red Bull, not this light green and silver nonsense that Mountain Dew's got nowadays. Like I'm talking the Mountain Dew that Dale Earnhardt sponsored.
Junior.
Yeah, Junior. Yep.
Well, he was AMP actually.
For some reason,
and fun fact about Mountain Dew AMP. It was that was like right. So my dad was actually at the release for when Dale Earnhardt switched over to Hendrick and his car was revealed.
No kidding.
In Dallas, it was at a Pepsi convention. Yep, at Texas Stadium.
That's cool.
Yep, they had everybody run out of the tunnel with the Cowboys cheerleaders dancing.
Low key, that actually sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, and then he won a trip. Then he won a trip to Hawaii to the Pro Bowl with my mom.
Oh, holy shit!
He had a good trip. Yeah.
Jeez.
So
Pepsi's treated you guys well with trips, or bubbler.
Yeah.
Pepsi/bubbler, I should say.
Yeah, well, it was WizPack as actually the one who gave my trip away, which
okay.
you know because WizPack's in Mankato.
That is correct.
Yep.
Technically,
I've gotten to tour that place.
Technically, North Mankato.
Yeah, that's that's the stomping grounds right there.
That's right up in my neighborhood. That's fun fact, guys. That's like a 10-minute bike ride from my parents' house.
Is it? Uh-huh. I'll have to come visit.
Yeah. 10-minute bike ride. But I did that a lot as a kid.
But oh yeah, that puts a bow on episode 79 of the Three Guys Talking Ball podcast. We'll have the segments on the show on Friday. We will see. As we wrap the show up, the Lakers are up by 17 right now at halftime. LeBron's got, I think I saw 24 points right now. Or no, he's got 31 in 24 minutes.
I still want to strangle the Twin City coach.
And the Twins, they are not
Denver
struggling right now.
Denver knew after this game they were going to have to fly back to Denver anyway. They figured, you know what? Let's celebrate our first trip to the finals in front of our fans.
Yeah, there you go. And the Lakers, this is the first time where if they win, this would be the first time where they would actually win a game when they've been down 3-0.
Which is incredible considering the franchise they have.
Yeah, they live in LA though. It's the going gets tough, they kind of just throw in the towel.
Yeah, I don't like anything to do with California, so that is also a good way to think about it.
But also check us out on all of our social medias, the Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at 3GTV Podcast, and then Facebook page of the Three Guys Talking Ball Podcast. But thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.